Welcome back, guys. This is my new toy. This is a 1967 Tucker Sno Cat. It is a 942A. I picked this up this summer from a guy, I guess now a friend of mine. Wanted a Sno Cat for a while, and finally kind of found one that was in my price range. I really wanted a Tucker, so I finally got a Tucker, and yeah, I'll show you around. It needs work, it needs tracks mainly, but we'll get into it. Here is the Sno Cat. This is a articulated steering, I guess. So if we go down here, we can see that it is a solid, basically a rear end. You know, it's a standard rear axle in the front and in the rear. And then it's got these plates right here that the axles sit on, and these turn relative to the frame. So you can see here's where it turns in the rear, and then the front, it turns on these. And so there's a hydraulic cylinder on right there, and then there's this arm that pivots on the bearings right here. The hydraulic cylinder has leaks, as evident by my driveway, so that will have to get resealed at some point. Underneath the hood, we've got the tiniest air filter I've ever seen. This is a Chrysler V8. It's a 318. One of the things I would like to do is potentially put in a diesel of some sort. I've been thinking like a mechanical TDI motor, maybe like a Perkins. I truthfully think a 4BT Cummins is just too heavy. Something light but still powerful. So the big thing this needs is tracks. It is not, I mean, they made it with the ability to put tires on, but it is a Sno Cat, it needs tracks. Mine doesn't have tracks, mainly due to cost. Well, it's what I could afford. The ones with tracks go for 3-4 times what I paid for this. It's also kind of a good thing. I really like the body style of this Sno Cat. It's a lot more rounded than the later Tuckers, but I don't like the tracks that came on them. They came with metal, like steel tracks that go around a pontoon. They've got about like 200 bearings per track that you have to grease. They aren't real fast. I think they top out around 7 miles an hour, and that's just not what I wanted. So I found the body style I like. Now I get to either build or buy some tracks that I like. I would like to possibly buy them, but again, the cost is a lot. So we might try building tracks. We'll see. The other good thing about that is currently these have a international axle, I believe. The later models, I believe, get to a Dana 60. And I would really like to get a Dana 60 because then I have the ability to put selectable lockers. And it just would allow me to go a lot more places and hopefully not get as stuck as often. Right now these are open, and you really need that with tracks just because otherwise you'll break things. What I don't fully understand is how the tracks would attach to these axles. I do see a bearing surface of some kind, I think right here. So I'm still trying to understand how that works. I'm hoping to go look at some other Tuckers, see how they attach, see if I can get some ideas. Or possibly, again, just try to buy a Dana 60 axle from an old Tucker that already has tracks on it and go from there. Paint, it has to be orange. That's Tucker orange. This might be close to what it's supposed to be. Now we get to go into the cab. So all of my gauges are unwired, not used, it's just a mess in here. So this is all gonna have to get replaced. We'll have to see. We'll have to figure out what gauges I want to put in here. Figure out some switches. I might try to put a switch panel up there as well, because it's got to have blinky lights and such. These are, from what I understand, the original seats. They currently aren't bolted down, but that's minor. And then the other thing is back there we have the fuel tank. So I don't really like having a fuel tank in a cab, so I'm thinking that I will try to move it to right back here just behind the cab. A neat thing about these Tuckers is that it is aluminum body. It is a steel frame. This is steel and this is steel. But then it is a fiberglass roof. So we do have some areas of damage. It will have to get fixed. So guys, I think that covers kind of the first look at this. It's gonna be a long project. The amount of money to just put into it, it's gonna take a little while of some savings, but hopefully we can get this going at some point. Tracks are the first issue. Once I find tracks, I can at least drive the thing on the snow and enjoy it, and then we can slowly work on the other upgrades.